Hey, what's going on there, guys? Sorry about being a little late. I did set it for 1:30, and for some reason it diverted back to 1 o'clock. So uh, hopefully I can read these comments here because I'm trying my orientation of horizontal, but the chat is on the right side of the screen up and down. Oh, it says the orientation is locked. Can anybody tell me what it looks like? Am I horizontal or am I vertical? Yeah, the thumbnail was wrong, but let's see. We got a couple people in there, and sorry I'm late for getting it started, but rotate device back. Let's see. I'm going to jump over here. I'm going to flip the screen here so you guys can see the other campground. And while I'm doing that, trying to do. Okay. Orientation is locked. It's always tricky on these things. You'll have to forgive me, but like I said, give you a look-see around the campground here. Hopefully the orientation is right. Yeah, there's the old cabin in the woods. And there's the mega tarp shelter there for doing it. I am sideways. So does that mean my orientation is correct? Or does that mean that the picture is sideways and I need to turn my phone so it's up and down? This is my first time, again, as I said on the live. I'm trying to do a horizontal video here. Give you a look-see around the campground there. Some people that have been showing up here. Last night I had one other camper. Shoring horizontal, but it's sideways. Well, okay. So that kind of answers that. Let me see if I can flip the phone here and see if this doesn't turn it correct direction. How about that? Okay, so I'm going to have to work on that. Let me say a little hello. Hello. We're, like I said, out here camping. It's my first solo for the season. And I did a camping trip with, of course, a lot of the guys are in here. MN Mike Outdoors and Ozark Woodsman Stories and more, and Ozark's Great Adventures. We had GAEFT LLC, Adam, and we had two guys in the Ozarks. So yeah, it was a fun time. Oh, and 210. We had 210 outdoors in there. So yeah, it was definitely a good time. But okay, well, I am gonna try to avoid these other campers out here. I'm gonna take a walk around the campground, kind of let you see what it looks like. It is absolutely gorgeous out here. Thought for a minute I was gonna have the place to myself tonight, but people started showing up. I guess the weather was too nice, and they came in a big motorhome and didn't, basically they showed up about 4 o'clock, I think, and then left out pretty early. They didn't they didn't have any, there's no water or power hookups, so I think they were probably disappointed in that. And they ran their generator, and they pulled in the campsite that's set up for a camp attendant. So I guess they thought that would give them all the hookups and everything they needed, and when they found out they didn't, they had to improvise with the old generator. So, all right, let's take a walk around the campsite here. Oh, sorry for the hand in front of that there. All right, I had to wait for that car to go too. Well, hope the audio's coming and going. I do apologize for that. It is also a little windy out here, so it's probably distorting some of it. We got over here, this is actually a pull-through campsite here that has it also has a water spout, but that is not just for this one side, it's a community thing. And this is well water out here, so. And then, of course, got the facilities right there. Hey, Nomadic Camping, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. Just showing the campground here. There's my campsite, and you see how close it is to the facilities. Yes, it is a pit toilet, but nonetheless, it's facilities. So let's keep on our walking. Trying not to catch the campers over here to my left. Here's another pull-through site. And as you can see, we're basically surrounded by pines. And hey, Jen, appreciate you coming in. And I got Ozarks Woodsman here. I appreciate you folks tuning in. If you would give that thumb a smash there, it'd be greatly appreciated. But yeah, this is pine forest. I forget who they said planted this, but it's been over 40 years ago, I think. But lots of you can actually go off into the woods, and if it's deadened down wood, you can cut it for a campfire. And so it makes good, especially if you're a bushcrafter, survivalist, and want to get fat wood, which I love to do, love the smell of it. But this is also a tight fit for if you've got a big RV, especially for these trees, these two right here. It's kind of hard to navigate through them. It is quite narrow. I would say right at about 10 foot across there. And you can see a little damage on the tree there. Last season, somebody, while I was here, I had just got here, they were here and decided to leave, and on their way out, they weren't paying attention. They were on their phone, and they smacked the tree pretty good, and ended up having to be towed out. So, I'm live on YouTube. Showing the campground. Hey folks, I didn't realize I had somebody over here listening to my stories, but I won't put you in the middle of it.
Yeah, okay. I'm wanted in several states, so yeah, don't take a picture of me.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, I refer to this as my Camp Comewatchame, but of course, it does have another name. And if you guys want to know this secret little gem of a campground, you guys might want to talk to me about getting together and having a meetup and a little collaboration going on, and we'll check it out. And of course, we got another spigot over here that is for water. And of course, you know, I wanted to take my bath here, but they wouldn't let me. It says no bathing. So, and they've got a little billboard there with some directions. This is in a state park, so it's reasonably priced. Oh, hey Daniel, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. I always got to come up here and say hi to my buddy. He's up front here. This is where we come in. Got a little crossroads out here. Now this right here is the entrance to the campground. There are no other entrances or exits unless you're going a little bit off-roading there. And that might give it away right there, Pine Campground. And there's my buddy. Good old Smokey. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires. And as you can see, it is moderate. Well, yeah, it should be because it rained Thursday. I got here last night. But reasonably priced on the camping. It's $8. This is like I said, a state park. And of course, you got a little bit of history about the area, some wildlife, birds, squirrels. What do we got? Talked about a badger. There's badgers out here? Badges? We don't need no stinking badges. Yeah. So again, like I said, I'll try not to get the other campers in here, give them some privacy. This is still part of a pull through. You know, there's just kind of a loop that comes around here. I guess for the people that have trailers. And of course, I got another facility over here, which is handy. And like I said, I'm going to try to skip over. So I'll give you a little view of the pines here. There is a camper to my left. Thought Randy would be stuck in that cave, man. You guys, if you didn't check that video out, go over to Ozark's Great Adventures. He has an absolutely epic and awesome video about exploring the cave and having adventures. And oh my gosh, it is excellent. Gotta watch it. I aspire to be as good as Randy in my techniques, but man, I just can't seem to get it. Looky there, another campsite. I like this one because you are right up against, you know, the edge of the woods there, but probably not quite 100 yards that way is a road that goes across that way. And people like to get on the gas when they come out from that site. And here's another one of my favorite campsites. It's actually near identical to the one that I'm in. It does have a little more slope to it. It would be a little bit difficult to level campers out here, and sometimes it's hard to find a solid flat site. There is one on the far side of the picnic table up over there, so it's pretty good. But as you can see, you can pull in, right to here, and then I use that tree right there, and then this one back here, and span it with the ridge line, put a tarp up, and then put my tent back over there, which is, like I said, they're identical to my current campsite. And I don't know if you guys can hear that wind blowing through the pines. The nice thing is it's windy up there, but it's relatively calm down here. And the temp, that I'm not entirely certain on. I'm guessing, I think it's about 55, somewhere in there. Last night it did get down to 35 degrees, which was a little on the chilly side, but I had my 0-degree sleeping bag and my whoopee blanket and my cot, and I did just fine. Two guys is out camping as well. We're gonna let the America's Most Wanted pull out here. That's the guy I was talking to earlier. Said he jokingly said he didn't want to be on video because he's wanted in 7 states. Yeah. Had a good chuckle out of that. Yeah, go ahead there, Mike. Set up your, or Matt, you set up your camp and get that going. Hope you got Kyle with you. Now, we just made the first loop. My campsite is on the second loop, and then there's a third loop here to the back. I'm going to take a walk back here. I did a previous live stream on this. I kind of goofed, and I set this up as a live stream, went walking around talking about the campground, and not a soul showed up. And I was like, wow, usually somebody's got to come in and say something. But oh, he was joking. I could definitely tell. But yeah, I was did the live, nobody showed up, and then I realized that it was set to private or unlisted, and so basically nobody knew to come in. So that was really a bummer. And just outside here, and it's probably about 50 yards out, there is the main road out there that goes down parallel to this one I'm on. And like I said, I love coming out here. If it's windy out, the trees block the wind and keep it pretty calm in here. Now, the only drawback to that is in the summertime, when it's really hot, you don't get much of a breeze through here. So that can be a bit disappointing. And as you can see, you do have to watch for the widowmakers. But that'll be some good firewood at a later point once that dries out. I'll have to remember there's some chunks over here. I'll probably leave it for these folks. Now we're heading into the the back loop. And off to my right here will be a campsite that's set kind of back in the woods. But somebody's in there. I will not disturb them. I am in Illinois. Nomadic camping. Like I said, I like it in this campground. And this is a state park. So, or minutes from where I live. So it's easy to get to. Another pull through. Somebody's got a barker there. Another pull through campsite. That's kind of a neat one to stay in. Set up if you got a bigger tent. So that spot right there, you can kind of see it's kind of forward and it's pretty decent. I had a couple of notifications that I'm lost. Yeah, the barking dogs is all right. I think the people running generators is a little more annoying than the dogs. This right here, that you can take in there, actually cuts back to the left there. It goes in about a mile to Primitive. Actually cuts back to the left there. It goes in about a mile to primitive camping. They have the primitive camping out here where you can hike in to the different spots, and there's several of them throughout the state park here, so that you can do your primitive camping. I think it's $6 a night for the primitive, $8 for these in this campground. They have an equestrian campground as well. I'm actually going to cut through here rather than walk by these other campers. But yeah, they have an equestrian campground that people can go with their horses. They said that it was opened up to regular campers, but I probably wouldn't go there for tent camping. Number one, there's not a lot of places to set up tents. Number two, never know where the horse was standing in the campsite. So, but this is that little campsite that had a pocket around it. And I see somebody's made some modifications. Looks like they did a little bushcrafting skills here. What did they do? Did they build looks like they built a back wall, but somebody has burned it out, or burned the wood from it. There used to be a fire ring on this, the concrete pad. There's only, I think 1 or 2 sites that just have the concrete pad. The rest of them either have a ring or kind of like the grill set up like I have. And as you can see, one of my first videos I made for going hunting for fatwood was right inside there. As you can see, the down pine with some limbs sticking off of it. I might have to go in there and harvest some. That's a new down tree. Oh boy. I smell the fatwood. Hey Molly, good to see you. Thanks for coming in and joining me. But yeah, there's plenty of places to go back in here and hunt for fat wood if you're looking for it. Get you some stuff to do a little, whether you call it camp crafting, bushcrafting, wild crafting, whatever you want to do it. Just, fun activities around the campsite to do. There's also, it is a state park or state forest, and so they do allow hunting out here. They have deer. I've got some clips of deer coming through the campground. This campsite I'm in right here, I had one probably within 20 feet of me come walking in. And then in the night, I've had them right up probably about 20 feet from my tent. So that was kind of a unique thing. Yeah, I heard about that, Molly. It was good to, you guys made it safe and sound, I take it. Say hi to Des for me, if you would. And like I said, here's my campsite. You really can't get a feel for just how huge this tarp is. I didn't realize it was going to be quite this big. It's like double the size of the one that I got before. I'm not even sure that 14 by 20 may not actually be accurate. I'll have to get an actual measurement on it. This is the Gold Armor tarp that I got. Good to hear, Molly. And I guess if you must, say hi to Jason for me too. Just kidding though. And here's again like my lounge up under the tarp there, all comfortable like. And I use the tripod there, I put the little phone holder on the end of it, so I can watch videos in my downtime of all you wonderful people. And of course got to do my patriotic duty. And then over here I got my camp set up. Like I said, I've been collecting some wood here. I do have a little bit of store-bought, so when I do cooking, I'm not cooking over pine because that's just gonna be loaded with that black soot. Doesn't eat too well. And then of course we got a picnic table. I don't know if they just did it because they replaced the picnic table, because I do believe that's a new one. But if you can look under the table right there, you'll see a little concrete pad with a little rebar in it, and they usually have those cabled down so you can't move them, which is kind of annoying because, if I wanted it up under my tarp, I couldn't do it. I'd have to set my tarp up out over here, and I'd actually be right here on top of the fire. And yeah, these are pretty nice grills. I just talked to the attendant this couple hours ago, and he said that they're going to be replacing them with the rings. I'm kind of mixed on that because the rings are sitting on the ground, and once people build a lot of fires in them, they build up a lot in the bottom of it, so it doesn't get any airflow inside the ring. This gets a real nice cross airflow. Yeah. So, and like I said, my picnic table, my cabin in the woods, and we're glamping. But, and got my little captain's chair there when it comes time for sitting around the fire. And they have cut some logs out here just recently, and you see I've got one there, use it as my cut and chopping block. And for those of you, here's a little tip. For those of you looking to get a saw to use to, if you have the ability to collect wood from the nearby forest there, that saw right there was, I believe, like $8 at an Ace Hardware store. And it cuts just as good as the $125 Boreal Agua 21 that I have. And I would have it out here, but the blade on it is super dull and I need to replace it. So I've been using this one. This one doesn't fold up. It is basically locked in, but you can change the blades out. Got your ring from the Colorado Conservation? How about that? And the camp attendants out here are they're good guys. So I mean, they're not here to sit here and watch the campground and take reservations and fees, which they do come around and collect fees, but they actually are more about maintaining this forest area. So they mow, they keep the trails cleared, because a lot of people come out here horseback riding and such. But that site that I showed you up front, look up there, it's up over there, with the hookups. They used to have a camp attendant out here, and there's just not enough sites to warrant it. And so now I know last year the lead or the manager out here, he had a trailer, so he came during the week and stayed in the trailer, and then he would go home on the weekends. And I was usually here on the weekends, so I was able to keep an eye on it for him. And an incident with a crazy that came out here, but that's for another story or another video. So what do y'all think? Was it a nice campground? This would be one I'd like to have people come out for a meetup. And as you can see, there's a lot of good camping. You're not stacked on top of each other. Hey, Dallas Lee. Well, it's going pretty good. Thank you for coming in. Was just finished up the walk around the campground out here, and let's see, yeah, got lots of like I said, beautiful views. And of course last night was a full moon and I didn't get it, but here's something to kind of keep in mind. There's my captain's chair. There's my fire. The moon started over there and rose and came out right there. That's my stargazing area. Yeah, I think you're limited to I want to say 2 or 3 tents per site, but like the one that I'm on, there's a site just right there, There's another site over there. That one that's in the corner that I showed you over there that I walked into, and they had the little firewall thing. There's a campsite just right there by it, out front of it, and then another one over here, and you could just basically capture that whole area for a nice little meetup. Appalachian twice. Wow. Oh, that's awesome. Wow. Did it twice. I would love to do the Appalachian Trail, but you know, the older I get, the more I convince myself that I should have done it when I was much younger. Heard Randy snores. I don't know. I couldn't hear him over the purple rain. And for those of you that don't know what the purple rain is, that's another story. That and the hooligans rolling through saying they're gonna call the cops, and then going down the road and yelling and screaming and hooting and hollering. But you know, when you live in the backwoods, you never know what's gonna happen. And granted, this is kind of remote. It's not as remote as where we were. I mean, I can drive maybe 7 minutes and get to a little town that, of course, doesn't give you an idea of the size of the town. It has a dollar store, but you know, pretty much dollar stores are everywhere you turn. But we get critters out here. I've seen deer, lots of birds, squirrel. I've seen one raccoon, and like I said, the deer just, you know, early morning's the best time to come out and catch them. They just wander through here. Yeah, too many backwoods movies. That's for sure. Wrong Turn. Yeah, all that good stuff. What was that one with Burt Reynolds? Okay, Molly, I appreciate you coming. But yeah, I love it out here. It's so relaxing. You know, grab myself a book and sit and read and listen to the pines, you know, with the wind blowing and then just swaying, and occasional branch fall, but it is. Is that why they put me over by you woodsman? So you wouldn't hear me snoring? Yeah, I'm sure I was cutting down a few trees. All right, folks. Well, I appreciate everybody coming to join me on this walk around the campground. Again, like I said, if you guys want to come check it out, hit me up. Maybe we'll do a little collab. And or maybe we'll just do a regular meetup or something out here. They also do have, I forgot to mention this, they do have out the main road there going straight out up the road. They have an area that is, uh, it's a community it's a larger campground. So they have some pavilions in there. Um, they still don't have electric or anything like that, but they do have some pavilions. And then in the center of the campground, they have a large uh, ring wall that's high enough to sit on, you know, with flat concrete on top of it. And that's for group camps, like the Boy Scouts come out here, things like that. And then in the winter, they dub that also as winter parking for snowmobilers that come out here. So, yeah, they were probably right almost even with me when they started the purple rain, so I got it pretty loud. But all right, folks, I'm fixing to jump off here. Got some more things to do around the camp. Get ready. Get me a dinner going tonight, and I'm not sure what I'm having. Maybe a little beef stew, or maybe a little chili, something like that. Or maybe, my steaks, my eye steaks. Call them my eye steaks because they're budget steaks. And if you didn't catch the video on the meetup, I cooked one in there, and I cooked a steak in less than 30 seconds. So, oh, cool. Maybe we'll arrange one, Mike. All right, appreciate that, woodsman. All right, you guys. As I always say, be kind to one another and go out and have yourself an adventure. Love y'all. How do I stop this? There we go.